By the 30s, we had been barnstorming around the South and the Middle West with more teams than a dog got fleas. Kansas City Monarchs, Pittsburgh Crawfords, Homestead Grays. We had such guys as Chester Williams and Jimmy Crutchfield, Cool Papa Bell. Well, he was so fast, he could turn out the light and get into bed before the room got dark. And Buck Leonard, and one of the greatest hitters of all time, Josh Gibson. Cause the white players from the major leagues, they never took us serious. And Dizzy Dean and Pepper Martin and them put together an all-star team and made out they were going to lick the whole Negro race because they didn't think we could play. And we had to show them we could play. Play good enough to go up and become part of the major leagues our own selves. Because they didn't have no black players in the major leagues. And if there ever was going to be any, well, we wanted times to change. We had to go out there and change them.
Academy Award-winning actor Louis Gossett Jr.
You must be the young couple who found that bottle this afternoon.
We'll talk about that later. If you come back.
Louis Gossett Jr. has made a career out of commanding performances.
No, sir!
As Richard Gere's drill sergeant in An Officer and a Gentleman, he turned basic training
I love my country. Sell it to the Air Force, Neil. Sell it to the Air Force.
into a masterclass.
I would go to Jerusalem.
A working actor since the early 1950s, he's played hundreds of roles over the decades. 70 years, that is a long time.
That's a miracle. That's a blessing.
He's been a fighter pilot, a musician, and at 84 years old, he's in no rush to call it quits.
I take it retiring isn't something you're considering.
As long as I'm here, there's a job to do for the benefit of us all, for what it's worth.
Born in 1936, Gossett grew up in the melting pot of Coney Island, New York, surrounded by friends and families who cared for one another, especially around dinner time. He had dreams of being a doctor or athlete, but a high school English teacher saw something else in the class president.
This is a Louis. I see they're looking for a young man to play a lead in a Broadway show. I know you never saw a play, but tell your mother to take you down there Sunday. What can you lose at the party?
On Broadway at 17. And by 23, he was already working with legends as an original cast member in A Raisin in the Sun.
Hey, look, honey, we're going to the theater. We're not going to be in it, you know.
Lorraine Hansberry's tale of a black family on the south side of Chicago.
We're fortunate to have worked with Sidney Poitier, Diana Sands, Ruby Dee. What a pleasure.
And soon he set his sights on Hollywood. Gossett kept working.
Wouldn't take too long shoeing that horse if I was you.
And in 1977, landed the pivotal part of Fiddler in Roots, which at the time was the most watched TV miniseries in history.
Didn't you think nothing about me? About you, Fiddler? Yeah, me. Me.
We'll look for those magic moments as actors and actresses when there's a lightning in the bottle.
Roots was big, but what came next made history.
Mayonnaise.
With his riveting portrayal in An Officer and a Gentleman, Gossett earned rave reviews and something else.
The winner is Louis Gossett Jr.
He became the first black American to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
So I said thank you. It's just a piece of history.
Louis Gossett Jr. is committed to his craft, but the greatest advice he says he gives isn't about acting. It's about understanding.
And we better take care of ourselves and one another better. Otherwise, nobody's going to win anything. We need each other quite desperately for our mutual salvation.